Killers of the Flower Moon is the third nonfiction book by the American journalist David Grann. The book was released on April 18, 2017. It was published by Doubleday, and the genre is true crime. There is also a movie in the making. Its release date is not yet set. The director will be Martin Scorsese. The cast consists of Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro. Here's De Niro, Scorsese, and DiCaprio all together. It was called The Reign of Terror on the Osage Nation. It's a chapter in our history almost forgotten, but now it has a new life. There is a story that needed to be told. There's a place in Oklahoma called GRAYHORSE. It has a small cemetery. If you look at the dates, you can see that 1923 was a very bad year. Other than that, nothing really out of the ordinary. We are at the GRAYHORSE Community Building. From here, the cemetery. GRAYHORSE Cemetery is where the story begins, and it will end there. The family's oil rights ended up in the hands of the only family member still alive, Mollie and her husband, Ernest. "It's just sad," said Mollie's granddaughter, Margie. "The whole family just wiped out, for nothing more than somebody's greed." Because at least one of the murders took place on federal land, the FBI was brought in. It was the young agency's first case, and a young J. Edgar Hoover wanted it solved. It was so high profile, it was even featured in a movie starring Jimmy Stewart, the FBI story. The real-life agents began to zero in on Mollie's husband. Ernest was arrested, and what unfolded at his trial at the old Pawhuska courthouse was sensational, to say the least. This would have been, in its day, considered the trial of the century, said Grann. Under oath, Ernest admitted it was his own brother who had murdered Mollie's sister Anna, and that his uncle, William K. Hale, had ordered it, along with the murder of Mollie's other sister, Rita. Worst of all, the plan, it seemed, was for Ernest himself to finish the job by murdering Mollie, getting sole possession of the oil rights. When Mollie realized that her husband who had helped her search for the killers, was in fact the killer, she could never look at him again, Grann said. But that's hardly where the story ends. Grann believes there were far more murders than the FBI ever investigated. "When I began researching this story," Grann said, "I thought of it as a traditional mystery, a whodunit. And by the end, I realized this wasn't a whodunit. This was who didn't do it, meaning so many people were part of this. The whole town, the white part of town, was complicit," he said. The gush of oil eventually slowed. The Osage mansions were abandoned. Even the Osage school is now a forgotten, overgrown mess. The Osage themselves never forgot, even if history did. There are still killers who remain unknown, Grann said. Still conspirators whose names have not been identified, and so some of the secrets, unfortunately, will probably remain lost to history. Mollie eventually remarried and became Mollie Call, and this is her grave. This is a road to a small cemetery in Oklahoma, GRAYHORSE. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Blessings to you.